First off, my name Toe, but it's really Tobe Chuku. Got a BM that keep my season.
It's week 14 of the National Football League, and our focus is on Rachaad White. He's coming off a historic game, topping Adrian Peterson's 2007 mark of 296 rushing yards. It's the Bucs and the Panthers on Monday night.
DA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Today, we culminate pivotal Week 14 with a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And a peek at the man under center. He has 5 full years in the league under his belt, now in year number 6.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book. He's an asset to have in any offense.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff?
On the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Young. Pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
The drive starts with a run by White. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for White a week ago, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Breaks the tackle. Now an alley. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first first down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll take this down to the 33. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
And this one is right down the middle. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is what we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Looking to throw, Young. Got his man, it's Jonathan Mingo. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
To throw on second down. Goldstein. He's got White here. And some room to maneuver. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with White. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers 16. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 13-yard line.
Going right side is White. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. He has just eclipsed the 13,000-yard mark for his career. What a career it's been. Incredible running the football. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Goldstein. Got his man complete over the middle. That's White. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Back to throw again. This is caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. A first down throw for Young. They shakes him, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Young. Open man, the tight end, Luke Schoonmaker.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. And that spot 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was the visiting Chiefs who come in and get the victory on the road. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Ken Walker, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Hurts, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. Second half straight ahead from Raymond James Stadium. Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. So for the call, let's get back over to Tampa and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. Throwing to start the drive. Goldstein. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Looking to throw. Goldstein. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On the give, it's White. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They'll look to set up his blockers. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. 1st and 10, Young.
Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Carlton Davis picks it, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Throwing on 1st down. Goldstein.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
On the handoff, this is White. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground with White. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad White adding to his NFL record in touchdowns. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back 1, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing, Young. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of his end zone, Young. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Pulled in at the 24. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now in Tampa. 2nd and 10. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now a give to White. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On a handoff, it's White. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashad White with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bucs add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Young on 1st down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so they're going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here is Young. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Young on 3rd down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. This whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
It's desperation time. Young on 4th down. That is caught. Schoonmaker. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. They'll run with White. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a carry for White. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Here's White. And spins away. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on that defensive side of the ball.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 6-play drive.
And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Okay, ready?
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. On play action, Young. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
That throw by Young incomplete. The trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen. despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
He'll take it at the 42. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bucs, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.